and it's all there. Walsall at home, good crowd behind them, in fine form. They can really get after this Leicester team early. There will be lots of quality coming back at them, but you'd like to think Walsall will start on that front foot.
Walsall have already dispatched of two teams higher in the pyramid than them already in the Carabao Cup this season. Can they make it 3 and take their biggest scalp of all? We've seen upsets in this competition already this season. This, though, would be right up there with them. 4 successive wins here at home for Walsall. How uncomfortable a night can they make it for Leicester City? Push forwards by Evan Weir, one of the 3 changes to the Walsall team. Yeah, this evening it's been a brilliant campaign so far for Walsall. 15 points picked up from their first 7 games, 4 points more than they managed in their opening 7 games last season. It is, of course, West Midlands against East Midlands here tonight as well. Not too far for the Leicester fans to travel. Here's Okoli, the one player who remains in the Leicester side from the weekend. Now Thomason already in battle with Connor Barrett, as you suggested before the game, Dave. This is going to be a key area on the pitch.
Yeah, Connor Barrett likes to really push on up that right-hand side. He is an outlet, very attacking-minded and aggressive with the way he attacks as well. So with Luke Thomas pushing high up the pitch, there will be space to exploit. There'll be man for man pretty much down that right-hand side, as Ronan Mayer will tuck inside, and also Decordova Reid as well.
Connor Barrett, a player who's made a step up this season, having played his football in the National League. Here's Ricardo, who hasn't had too many opportunities so far this season. Been kept out of the side for Premier League games by James Justin. Here's Decordova Reid for Leicester. He just barged into the hoardings there. That was a robust challenge by Akagbue. Perhaps a touch over the top as well, but this is the kind of night that Walsall have to make it.
Most definitely. Forceful tackle, to say the least, from Okagbue. Decordova Reid has the pace, has the sharpness, just nicks in front of him. Okagbue is already committed. You see Decordova Reid's not happy with the challenge early on in the game.
Expect more of that here tonight from Walsall, who have to try and prevent Leicester from getting into a rhythm here this evening. So the players are still in discussion with the referee about that challenge from Okagbue. Tom Neild is our referee here this evening. An early chance here for Leicester to test out this Walsall defence. It will be Buonanotte and Ricardo to take this free kick, both standing over it right now. It will be Buonanotte who delivers, angles it towards the back post, claims for handball. Just going to have a pause in play here. Some balloons that need to be popped over in the far corner. There's nothing to lose tonight, really, is there, for Walsall? No one's really going to expect Matt Sadler's team to go through. They can have a real good go at Leicester this evening. It is Leicester who are on the front foot here, and final touch was a Leicester one. Goal kick to Walsall.
Yeah, this just gives Walsall that chance just to settle into it. Leicester have been the team to dominate the football in these early stages, but like you said, absolutely no lose situation for Walsall. Excellent league form. If they go and lose tonight, it will be expected from the general public. These Walsall fans will live in hope. EFL Cup, they've had lots of exciting games so far. The Exeter win, followed by that Huddersfield 3-2 victory here at the Poundland Bescot Stadium. They'll be hoping they can...
They left it incredibly late, as I mentioned, in that first round game here against Exeter. Jamie Jellis scoring in the 3rd minute of stoppage time to take it to penalties. And what a comeback it was in round 2 against Huddersfield, trailing by 2-0 with 63 minutes played. Well, they've roared back into the contest. 3 goals in the space of 14 minutes, sending them through to set up this tie tonight against Leicester City. Here's Ricardo. Cody to Okoli. This Leicester City side tonight also just shows you the depth that they do have in their squad. Of course, it seems to be something we see more and more of in the Premier League. So many games to be played. So many sides now having 2 options or thereabouts in each position. Long ball forward, seeking the run of Thomas. It seems as if Leicester are keen to get him forward when they can tonight.
Yeah, it's very important. One of their key tactics, even in the Premier League. Getting the left-back high and wide on that left-hand side. Allowing the winger to roll inside and create an overload in that central area. But Walsall look like they're set up for it. A narrow 3 in midfield. Not allowing much room in between them. Trying to force the ball into those wider areas. Trying to remain compact if they can. If it is in those middle areas, can they nick it and try and go quickly on the transition?
Brought down by Liam Gordon. He's forced to go back into his own half and find Evan Weir. Played forwards, but too much on it, and it will run through to Danny Ward, who hasn't had too much game time for Leicester City. Did start in round 2 against Tranmere. He's also played for Wales this season as well in the Nations League against Turkey. Craig Bellamy's first game in charge. Here's Cody, who finds Ricardo. Both teams still settling into the night. Buonanotte on a season loan from Brighton. Really bright prospect for Kundo Buonanotte. Surprising perhaps that Brighton were happy to let him go for the campaign. De Cordova-Reid into Okoli. Also happy to stand off in these kind of areas, but you can see that there is a press there when they feel the option is right, and it is the correct time for them to do it. Now Hamza Chowdhury. First start of the season for him. A player who won the FA Cup as well with Leicester City just 3 years ago. And they've had a journey, Leicester City, over the last few years. All the way up from League One to win that incredible Premier League title. And an FA Cup win over Chelsea as well in the COVID season. Edouard will give chase here. First start for Leicester tonight, but did start for Crystal Palace earlier in the season before he made the move to Leicester, and a big night for him as well, Dave. It's going to be difficult, you would think, to dislodge Jamie Vardy, given what he's done so far this season, but Edouard has to try and force his way into what would be Steve Cooper's first 11. Yeah,
you just need to show Steve Cooper that you're ready for when you are called upon, whether that be off the substitutes bench, whether that be Jamie Vardy suffering of an injury or a knock or anything like that. But the best way for strikers, obviously, is to score goals. And he'll see this as a fixture where he can hopefully get himself on the score sheet. Won't be too much space for him to run in behind the way Walsall's defending. Like I said, very compact. Don't give you much space to run in behind. If it does go into Edouard, there's going to be midfielders nipping at his toes as well from both sides. He'll be hoping they can get an early goal, and that will just settle everyone down and they can create a little bit more space.
Challenge here on Buonanotte by Weir. Free kick to Leicester. Just to go back to Odsonne Edouard, he did score 7 Premier League goals last season for Crystal Palace, which was his best ever Premier League season. But of course, Jean-Philippe Mateta, with his scintillating form at the end of last season, very much the first choice for Oliver Glasner. Leicester able to do a deal late in the day at the end of the transfer window to bring him to the club and add him to their attacking options. Here's Thomas. Stark does well to win possession back, and now Walsall can look to come forward. Tom Neild happy with what he saw, and he allows play to continue. Now here's Liam Gordon. He threads it down the line. Albert Adoma, can he pick somebody out? It just took a clip off Connor Cody and spins through to Danny Ward.
You can see anytime Walsall get any joy, the crowd just really get behind them, urging them forward. Just lacked a little bit of quality then when it did fall to Albert Adoma on his weaker left foot, but just trying to get across into the box, a little bit weak. Deflected safely into Danny Ward's hands.
Interesting capture for Walsall as well. Albert Adoma was at Queen's Park Rangers last season, but he's come along to Walsall. He hasn't actually started a league game for them this season. He's had a fair bit of game time off the bench in League Two, 6 substitute appearances, but just like Odsonne Edouard for Leicester, a chance for him tonight perhaps to try and push his way into the side a little more often with a good performance here tonight. Here's Okoli. De Cordova-Reid manages to touch it to Thomas, and he gets it back quickly as well. Spies a switch of play, and it was ambitious and cut out by Gordon. Free kick given away by Fatawu.
Yeah, excellent defending from Gordon under lots of pressure. It's not nice when the ball's coming down out the sky like that. And a bit of pressure to have a good first touch. He did that. Being harassed as well at the same time by Fatawu, but kept his composure, got his side a foul.
Third season at the club now for Liam Gordon after joining from Bolton. Coley allows it to bounce. Finds De Cordova-Reid. Chowdhury just pushes it up towards Odsonne Edouard, and it's a neat layoff from him. Buonanotte. Thomas looking to stride forward, but things just close down very quickly on Buonanotte, and now that space that Thomas has left can perhaps Walsall look to exploit. It's good work by Chowdhury to just force Walsall to go back there. He gives away the free kick though.
He did really well initially to force Mayer back towards his own goal, because there's a moment where Walsall won the ball back and they had space to run into. I thought it was good defending by Chowdhury. A bit unfortunate to give the foul away. He did have his arm in his back and was nipping at his heels.
Here's Weir. He finds Gordon, who initially had a bit of room out on the touchline. He skips past Fatawu. Is there something on here perhaps for Walsall? Okoli well positioned. Calmly done by Ricardo. De Cordova-Reid. De Cordova-Reid, who before tonight had only made 3 appearances this season for Leicester in their first 3 Premier League games, but hasn't been involved since. And here's Nathan Lowe, crowded by Leicester City shirts, and he loses possession. Buonanotte now, is he just perhaps being a bit guilty of trying to do too much when he's in possession? Here's Barrett striding forwards, looking to link up with Nathan Lowe, and it goes behind for a Walsall corner.
Fabulous intensity to start this game. Both teams fully committed, and we said the centre of the pitch is going to be congested. Both sides turning over the ball, and when it does release to Barrett, we spoke about him earlier, has that direct thought of, can I take it to the byline, get a cross in? He does both of those things, and Chowdhury's in a good position to cut the cross out. It's the first chance now for Walsall to put some quality into the box.
Important intervention there by Hamza Chowdhury, but now a chance for Walsall to swing this ball into the penalty area. Tom Neild feeling the need to go and have a word here. It's very crowded in front of Danny Ward. Seems as if Albert Adoma has got the role of chief disruptor in there. Bobby De Cordova-Reid keeping very close to him. He looks as if he's enjoying himself in there, Albert Adoma. But can he disrupt Danny Ward enough? In comes the corner. It's a decent delivery. And the final touch, I think, came off Connor Cody.
Yeah, that was terrific defending by Connor Cody, because Harry Williams was just waiting. He saw it as a golden opportunity. Excellent movement just to evade away from Ricardo, but Connor Cody, who's in charge of that central zone, has to have his shoulders open. A few checks over his shoulder to see who's coming. And a really important touch to take it away.
Corner comes in from the other side, and it's headed away by Soumare. Also showing what a threat they can pose from set-piece situations, but now Fatawu bringing Leicester away. Options ahead of him. He looks to turn in field. He's brought down, and a free kick now for Leicester as we approach the 15-minute mark here this evening.
These are the moments that Walsall are going to want to try and avoid when the ball's turned over and Leicester setting up a counter-attack. They've got so much pace in the team that it's going to cause Walsall problems, but they get numbers back on this occasion, and it's a foul by Charlie Lakin, but it's better than having these Leicester players running towards your goal.
Same two in discussion, Buonanotte and Ricardo. Will it be the in-swinger, or will it be the out-swinger? Walsall have to stay switched on here. It will be Ricardo. Headed back across goal, and some work to do for the first time tonight, really, for Tommy Simkin.
Yeah, it's into a good area by Ricardo, and they win the first contact, Leicester. Then you just wait and see where it drops to, and it's Edouard in the centre of the box, but it's a really awkward height for him. Opts to go over his knee, more hopeful than anything else. Look at those Walsall bodies flying in his way.
Touched first time by Stirk to find Barrett. And now it opens up for Barrett, and he can look to drive forward here. He finds Lowe, his cross comes in, chance to take the lead, and it's kept out by Danny Ward. Lakin denied. It was a glorious chance, still some defending to do here, and Okoli heads it out of harm's way. And Walsall passing up the opportunity to get themselves ahead here, and now danger at the other end, but that one just gets away from Odsonne Edouard. It was brilliantly worked by Walsall.
Fabulous chance, but what a save from Danny Ward. Charlie Lakin, who scored against Salford, his confidence to be high. He's got a couple of goals this season, arriving as you want those attacking midfielders to do, right on time. And all he's thinking is, can I get a good contact on the ball? And he does just that. But Danny Ward scampers across the goal, makes a terrific save.
He scored with a very similar strike against Birmingham in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy against his former club, of course, Charlie Lakin, a few weeks ago, but not to be this time. Denied by Danny Ward. Really good save from him, his first real involvement of the evening. Leicester City, Premier League Leicester City, very much in a game here this evening against the confident Walsall side. And again, no surprise to see Connor Barrett involved in the build-up to that chance for Charlie Lakin. Okoli has to go and find Connor Cody. In the league this season, Walsall have been a low possession team, averaging around 43% of the ball. They're showing what they can do when they do get forward. Now Thomas goes down under pressure from Barrett. No free kick awarded, and Barrett can just look to lump the ball forward, seeking Albert Adoma. Lakin works it out to Gordon. Now Adoma. We'll take a look at that Danny Ward save again at some stage. The ball actually hasn't been out of play since that effort from Charlie Lakin. Ball pushed forwards a little aimlessly, and Ricardo able to bring it down for Leicester. Here's Cody to Okoli. Okoli, who starts a 5th successive game in all competitions for Leicester here this evening, came to the club from Atalanta in the summer. He did spend last season on loan at Frosinone in Italy. Not the best of seasons for them, though. They were relegated from Serie A. Thomas, I think he thought he had a bit more room than he did. Ball just runs out of play. And Danny Ward keeping Leicester level here, Dave, with a really good save to deny Charlie Lakin.
Yeah, fabulous work, the little 1-2 round the corner, and as it falls at the feet of Nathan Lowe, puts it into a good area. They have an overload on that back post. It's a really good strike from Lakin, because it just bobbles up and he has to keep it down. Hits the target, gets pace on it. But Danny Ward, not just getting across the goal, using the experience, he's stepping across there early, gets his body behind the ball, not just saves it, but pushes it a long way to safety.
The night, though, you feel, when Walsall have to take the chances that they create.
I really think they've got the balance perfect at the moment. You can see when Leicester in comfortable possession, they're not engaging too high, but as soon as there's a moment they can go, then it's not just one on their own, it's a couple. At the moment, they're just happy in their shape. I say when they commit, they do so with such positivity, and when they win the ball, they're just thinking about moving forward as quickly as possible.
One attempt at goal for each side so far tonight through the opening 20 minutes. That effort from Charlie Lakin, the only one on target so far. You mentioned, Dave, Walsall happy to stand off at the right time, engage when they see the moment to be right. No surprise, perhaps, then, that Leicester have had 69% of the ball so far this evening.
Yeah, a lot of it's been in their own defensive third in terms of the central defenders having the ball. Connor Cody has had a lot of it at Coley as well, just moving it from side to side. But as soon as it does go into those areas in the centre of the pitch, whether it's to try and get it into Buonanotte or Decordova-Reid, then all of a sudden that's when Walsall really get bodies around the ball quickly. And that's a feature of Matt Sadler as a player, as a centre-back who loved intensity, directed his players to go and press, and that's what his team have done so far. Chance here, though, for Odsonne Edouard. He looks to poke it to Buonanotte, can't quite find him, and it's good cover by Liam Gordon. Mayer just runs out of room on this near side. Sadler, someone you know well, Dave, from your time together at Shrewsbury. Has he impressed you with what he's done in his short time as a manager? Yeah, he has done. I think all Walsall fans will be happy with the journey they've been on. But as a player, he was captain of the football club. Someone you always knew would be a coach, just the way he handled himself in and around the training ground, how much he was trying to help other players around him. Very similar to what Connor Cody does for Leicester, really talking players through the game.
Leicester coming forward here. Cross comes in, dangerous delivery, but contact wasn't clean. Buonanotte feels that it took a nick after he got something on it.
Yeah, it's the first time Leicester have really had that space to get good quality into the box. It's Fatawi who puts into a good area, and they've got bodies in there. You can see four players. Luke Thomas coming over from that left-hand side, and it's Buonanotte who gets that final touch off his shoulder. It's Harry Williams who gets closest, gets contact on him. That makes it difficult for Buonanotte. But more promising stuff from Leicester, though.
Leicester perhaps just starting to find a rhythm here this evening. As things stand, Walsall have made more passes in the final third than Leicester so far this evening. Here's Buonanotte, and he's got a bit of room to drive forward here. Tries to thread it through to Decordova-Reid. Edouard had offered himself short and wants to know why the ball didn't come to him instead. Steve Cooper appointed as the new man in charge at Leicester after Enzo Maresca's departure to Chelsea. Knows he's got a tough task on his hand. Trying to keep Leicester in the Premier League. Got themselves over the line, but it wasn't without some difficult moments last season as they won promotion from the Championship. Blistering first half of the campaign, but a few stutters after that under Maresca. There were plenty of people that felt that Leicester were a side that shouldn't have been relegated in the first place, given the players that they had. Decordova-Reid trying to turn, but the attention tight from Sturck.
Yeah, this camera angle really gives a true reflection of how Leicester are trying to play. In possession, they move to three at the back. Ricardo tucks in on that right-hand side. Luke Thomas high on the left, and Decordova-Reid, as we spoke about, goes and joins Buonanotte in the middle of the pitch, trying to create that overload. But at the moment, Walsall are keeping bodies in the centre, not getting dragged out of there. And that's just stifling Leicester's progress.
De Cordova-Reid. Thomas just outside of him, and he links up with him now. With De Cordova-Reid, who left Fulham in the summer. Fulham had looked at trying to keep him at the club. Marco Silva having him as one of his senior leaders in the changing room. De Cordova-Reid opting for a change of scenery. Cody to Okoli. Cordova-Reid first time into Edouard. It's very neatly worked here by Leicester. Edouard, will he look to strike? He will. Real fluidity in the build-up to that Edouard effort, but he never really looked convinced that he was going to do some damage in front of goal there.
Yeah, he's been very much on the fringes, hasn't he, of the game so far, but quick interlinking play. Doesn't allow Walsall to get close enough to the ball. And the set's just a little bit behind him from Buonanotte. Means he has to take a touch. But really looked like he lacked a little bit of conviction as he decided to take the shot, leaning back. Technique was all wrong from Edouard.
He has only scored one goal, Odsonne Edouard, in 2024 with his time at Crystal Palace and now Leicester. Came in April against Manchester City. Had a really good start to last season and was a prominent player in the Crystal Palace side. Started 15 of their opening 16 Premier League games. And then he only started 2 of their final 22. I think we know what's coming here. Also pining players into the Leicester City penalty area, and Harry Williams getting ready to launch this ball in. Headed away by Thomas, only as far as Barrett. Can Walsall box Leicester in here? Charged down by Barrett. Goal kick to Leicester. Leicester still to have an attempt on target here this evening.
Yeah, it'll definitely be Matt Sadler who's the happier of the two managers. Game plan working well for his team at the moment. They've created that key opportunity as well, which fell to Lakin. He'll feel like his side should have been in front, but I think he'll be more pleased with how little that Leicester have been able to create on the other hand. The shape of the team very good at the moment, not allowing Leicester too much space in and around the back three.
Here's Thomas. No Jamie Vardy involved tonight, by the way, for Leicester City. Sliding challenge comes in from Chowdhury. Bilal El-Khanous, Jordan Ayew. Attacking options for Leicester City on the bench this evening. Also have got a few of their own as well. And just a reminder that if we were to be level after 90 minutes, then we would go straight to a penalty shootout, which is of course how Walsall got through in round 1 here against Exeter. Over comes Williams once again. Will they have more joy this time? Forward comes Okagbue. It's flicked on this time, and dangerously so. Lakin was arriving at the back post. He's adamant Walsall should have had a corner there, but Walsall offering a threat from the long throw.
Yes, twice now Leicester have been quite outnumbered on that back post, and it was Lakin again who gets himself in there. Just doesn't get that contact right as it comes to him. He's trying to get the ball back across the goal, but just catches his studs and goes aimlessly then out for a goal kick. But it's another opportunity, you must say, for Walsall. Matt Sadler will know they're not going to get a huge amount of these. It's important they try and make one of them count.
Couple of let-offs for Leicester already here this evening. And here's Walsall, who have had more threatening moments in front of goal. Pushed down the line by Thomas. De Cordova-Reid tries to link up with him and manages to do so. Now time for Thomas to work out what he wants to do. He puts in the cross. Fatawu now over on the far side. Hunted down by Gordon. He's got Lakin in support as well. Chowdhury. Back to Fatawu. 13 assists in the Championship last season. Edouard trying to be clever on the edge of the area, and Walsall back on the ball. Good work by Nathan Lowe. Asking an awful lot, though, of Liam Gordon, and over comes Okoli. Calmly done by Ward, who just drops it onto the toe of Thomas. Sweeping ball, seeking Fatawu on the far side. Well, over half an hour played now here tonight, Dave, and you'd have to say Walsall looking rather comfortable. They will feel happy with the way that they've played so far.
They will do, and I said Matt Sadler will be the happiest of the two managers. So the game plan seems to be working and created two really good opportunities, so he'll be happy. But on the other hand, I think Steve Cooper will be really wanting more from his forward players. In particular, we've seen the ball go into Edouard a few times and does not quite look sharp enough. His touch isn't quite good enough to keep control of it, losing the ball. He had that tame effort over the ball as well, over the bar as well. And Fatawu on that right-hand side, he had a couple of occasions where he could have really driven at Liam Gordon, but he just opted just to come back inside, lay a pass off. I just feel like he's need a bit more energy from those front players.
Matt Sadler, of course, who had two spells at Walsall as a player, ended his career with them in 2022. Became the manager a year later after a spell in interim charge, and his side holding their own so far this evening against Leicester. The Leicester side that haven't really clicked into gear. Chowdhury pushing it into Buonanotte, who was immediately under pressure. Buonanotte again, he always wants to be on the ball. And 27 Premier League appearances for Brighton last season for Facundo Buonanotte, but of course change in the head coach seat there over the summer as well, with Roberto De Zerbi departing and Fabian Hürzeler, who's had quite the start coming into the club. Of course, Brighton really opening the wallet this summer as well, spending plenty of money. Samare into De Cordova-Reid, who just drifted into a central position there to link the play up for Leicester. Ooh, seeking Buonanotte, just too far in front of him. He's still battling away, Buonanotte. He's not giving up on this one, but it's Evan Weir who manages to step away with the ball. He feels like he could have had a free kick. Good work, though, by Buonanotte.
Yeah, it's better. Tenacious play. Really trying to win the ball back. Not giving it up, wraps his leg around, nearly wins it. Good effort. He was outsized at the time, but uses low centre of gravity to try and win the ball back. Good defending from Weir, though. The last few moments has been a little bit more positive from Leicester.
Buonanotte has been at the heart of it. He has a go there, but sees his shot blocked. Of course, Matt Sadler will expect there will be periods in this game when Leicester are on top. It's going to be how resilient his side can be to deal with that. Buonanotte looks like the one that might make things happen for Leicester here. Ricardo tries to slide one through. And now Walsall can turn and look to drive forward.
Looks like there's been a slight tweak from Leicester in their shape. More back to in possession, more of a 4. You can see Ricardo on that far side of your picture, just playing a little bit higher. Connor Cody more on the right side now of that central pairing rather than in the middle.
And they still haven't had a shot on target here this evening. They've had plenty of the ball, Leicester, over 3/4 of it. But Tommy Simpkin, the 19-year-old in the Walsall goal, hasn't really had anything to do.
Bonanate is the one trying to make stuff happen, isn't he? But like I said a second ago, I think that maybe Ricardo in possession is going to try and push out and try and join up with Fatah on that right-hand side. It's not working going through the middle, trying to create that overload. The 4v3 that they were trying to create hasn't quite worked in its opening 35 minutes. So maybe can they work it out wide and double up against Walsall's wing-backs? Get Ricardo joining in on that right-hand side.
There's, of course, a fullback who does love to get forwards, Ricardo. Here's Albert Adoma for Walsall. Less than 10 minutes to go until half-time. Lovely play by Gordon to skip away from Fatawu. Now Stirk just ran into trouble, really. He stayed down here and Leicester will look to break out.
Yeah, that's a shame. He's just trying to manoeuvre it onto his left foot. I think what you wanted him to do was keep it rolling on his right foot, move it away from the Leicester defender, but he's that desperate to try and shift it onto his favoured left foot and get a shot away. He just goes back into trouble, he just gets caught for his troubles. See as it comes across here, if he can open out his body there, move away from Samari, but instead takes it towards him, and Samari, strong player himself, just stands his ground. Lovely feat there by Liam Gordon to set up that attack for Walsall.
Does that count as a nutmeg?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, he's hurt himself in doing so. Ryan Stirk, an important player, of course, the captain for Walsall, started all 7 of their league games this season and all their games in this run in the Carabao Cup. And both their coaches here, managers, taking the opportunity to get their players over to the near side. Pass on some tactical advice. Leicester getting better, it looks, as the game has gone on. Walsall perhaps just needing to get themselves to half-time. These are the options tonight on the bench for Matt Sadler. Jamie Jellis, who scored such a big goal for them in round 1, one of those options. Jamil Matt as well. Donovan Daniels, Brandon Cornley, George Hall, Taylor Allen, Rico Brown and Danny Johnson.
Back scoring goals, Danny Johnson.
Back scoring goals.
Matt Sadler wanted him to be fitter. He's gone away, he's done that. Trying to build up his game time a little bit, but he'll be desperate to get on this evening. He's seen those few little big chances, but there'll be half chances as well that he'll be looking at. Real live wire in the box. I'm sure he'll get onto the pitch at some point along with Jamil Matt.
Danny Johnson, who has, as Dave said, back amongst the goals. He scored on his last 2 appearances in the league win against Bradford and also in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy win here against Fulham just last week. Made a decent start in that as well. Walsall in the group stage of that competition. They drew at Birmingham. 10,000 in the crowd that night for that game. And then a victory over Fulham. It leaves them well placed to advance. You can see what the issue is here for Stirk. So let's just take a look again at how this injury came about for Ryan Stirk.
Yeah, just shifts it back onto his left foot, like I said. Contact from Sumari on the ball, so that stops it being a foul, but it's just the force as he stands his ground, and it's almost the forehead of Sumari which catches him. Would have been sore, that.
An unfortunate collision there for the Walsall captain. Let's hope that he will be able to continue, but he's going to have to come off for a moment or two here.
Never nice to play when you got a whack on the nose. You don't know what the extent of the damage is. See blood coming out, you just hope it's not bent, broken, and all of the above.
First thing you do when you're back in the changing room, look in the mirror.
Definitely.
So a brief pause to proceedings here, and there hasn't been many of them so far tonight. It's been a game which has flowed. Walsall have carved out the better opportunities. They both come the way of Charlie Lakin. One particularly good chance which was kept out by Danny Ward. Plenty to be encouraged about for Walsall, but they know that they can't switch off for a second here against Premier League opposition. Cody pushes it out wide, everybody deep for Walsall, but Leicester still find some space. The deflection spins very kindly into the hands of Tommy Simkin.
Yeah, Edouard 6 yards out, middle of the goal, but just comes at him too quick. It's a good move by Leicester, and Buonanotte doesn't quite get the contact. He's actually very good in the air for a diminutive player, but just a glancing header, no time to react for Edouard at all, and then Simkin will be delighted the way it just pops up into his hands.
Came too quickly for Buonanotte, and it came too quickly for Odsonne Edouard. Ryan Sturck back on the field now for Walsall. Back up to their full complement. 5 minutes to go until half-time. It'll be sore in the morning, I'm sure, for Ryan Sturck, but can he lead Walsall into a place in the draw for round 4? That draw comes tomorrow. Doma's free kick up to the edge of the Leicester area, and it was a header which was uncontested. Lakin, ambitious attempt, and it was charged down. Soumaré will try and keep it in play, just unable to do so. Good support for Leicester here this evening, as you can see. They've got that stand, half of that stand on the far side and behind the goal to the right as well. And they haven't had too much to be enthused about so far, as Walsall come forwards again, just too far ahead of Gordon. Calmly done by Connor Cody.
Yeah, real shame for Walsall, because it was lovely play in the middle of the pitch, and they bounced their way through that Leicester press and find themselves some space on that left channel. Just an overhit pass by Lakin.
Cody tries to just drop one in behind. Fatawu does well initially, but it's good work, good hunger displayed by Evan Weir to get back in and get a touch to the ball and win the free kick.
There's a nice idea by Leicester. The movement in front of Fatawu, just drag the centre back out, and then that gives him the space to run in behind. Excellent first touch, but then couldn't quite get that second one away, but Weir came back and recovered excellently well.
We are seeing why Walsall have had such a good start to the season in League Two. Third place right now, just a point off the two teams above them. Come into this game tonight having lost just one of their last 7 games in all competitions, and as I've mentioned, they are unbeaten here at home so far this season and have won each of the last 4. And Leicester in a real battle here. Now Edouard will give chase, but Tommy Simkin comes out to deal with it. On loan at Walsall from Stoke City. The only game he has missed in the league this season. That one defeat that's come in the last 7 games. A surprise defeat perhaps against MK Dons, given the struggles they've had through the start of the season. Favourites to go up by many, but Mike Williamson's team have really struggled so far. Now Sturck looks to clip one forward. And can Walsall in this first half with a flourish? They've lost possession. Edouard battling away. In fact, it's Soumaré. Now Thomas.
That's what Walsall have done so well. The youngster there, Mayer, loses the ball, but then how quickly he reacts to then go and close it back down, get bodies behind the ball, and then just force Leicester to go backwards. It's been really important to the way they've approached this first half.
Long ball sent forward, seeking Edouard. It's a brilliant piece of defending from Williams out on the stretch. And it was an intervention he had to make as well. Buonanotte. Edouard can't quite get there. It's Williams who's there once more. We tick into stoppage time at the end of this first half. 3 minutes to be bolted on. Leicester just getting the wind in their sails here. Thomas looks to sweep in across, which is charged down by Mayer. The corner cannot be prevented.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure building from Leicester. Walsall just starting to look a little bit leggy in the middle of that pitch. It's been a monumental effort in this first half. It really has. Spoke about their counter press, how hard they've had to work in their shape as well. I think they could do with half time at this moment, go back, refuel, refresh their minds. Although you're doing the physical work of getting across the pitch and getting after Leicester, it's also mentally challenging as well to always stay switched on to this Premier League movement.
Leicester's first corner of the night, and it comes in first half stoppage time. Whipped in towards the front post, but it's cleared away. The Walsall fans as well sensing what you just said, Dave, about the need to get to half-time. One ball thump forward, Simkin, who has no problems with this, opts to keep it in play.
Yeah, Simkin in no rush, and I don't think Edouard's in too much of a rush either to go and press him.
He's done a good job there. He's just killed 30 seconds off the clock. Leicester have had 74% of the ball in this first half, but they haven't worked it into too many dangerous situations. Still to have a shot on target. Barrett looking to take on Thomas. Now, did that one run out of play? Indeed it did. Just the slightest of hesitation. Danny Ward thought perhaps the clearance might come instead, and when it didn't, the ball had just gone over the line. He tried to disguise it.
Yeah, it did go out for a corner. Danny Ward trying to play mind games, but once again, it's excellent work from Conor Barrett. Unapologetic about the directness of his play, just heading for that byline every single time. Wins his side a corner.
Some words of encouragement from those two youngsters there in the front row. Well, Walsall just had to defend a corner. Now they have one of their own. In it comes, but it's hooked away. Watch out if you're on the M6. One spins up onto the roof and bounces away. Seems as if Tom Neild will give Walsall the time to go again here. Can they find a better delivery? They've posed problems from these situations so far tonight, but it is disappointing. It's headed away at the front post. Could Walsall do it again? Could they find themselves in the draw for round 4 tomorrow night? Or will Leicester City step up in this second period? Chowdhury looking for the switch of play, defended well by Conor Barrett. He's done well to limit the influence of Luke Thomas down that left-hand side so far this evening. Leicester now attacking the goal, behind which their fans are this evening, although, as I've mentioned, you can also see they are over on that far side as well. Short journey for them tonight across the M69 and the M6. There is certainly here this evening the potential for an upset. Ricardo wins the header. 10 changes made tonight by Steve Cooper from the team which started in the Premier League at the weekend against Everton, as Leicester fought back to earn a draw. A game, of course, which was delayed due to the weather conditions at the King Power. Walsall coming forwards here. Lakin tries to just help it on its way, trying to link back up with Evan Weir. Now Nathan Lowe, it just opens up here. He rolls it across to Adoma. It was a glorious chance. Huge miscommunication in the Leicester City defence, but Matt Sadler's team unable to cash in.
Huge opportunity for Walsall, and what they've done so well in the game so far is taken those moments to press, and that forces the error. It's Fatawu really sloppy in possession, and they bounce on it with Nathan Lowe. I think he picks the right option. He must have been tempted to shoot there, and Adoma, with all his experience, being really disappointed that he didn't get a clean contact on it. He's waiting for it, it's into his path on his weaker left foot, but still really poor contact, and Matt Sadler will know that's another big chance that's gone missing.
Two big opportunities have come Walsall's way so far here tonight, and they haven't been able to take either. How costly will that prove to be? Is that a wake-up call for Leicester City at the start of this second half? Good pressure by Lakin. Now can Lowe get there? He can't. Walsall right on it at the start of this second half. Mayer goes over. Good aggression being displayed from Matt Sadler's team as they look to find a way to take the lead here this evening. Two glorious chances they've had, Dave. One for Charlie Lakin and then there for Albert Adoma.
Yeah, chances they should both be expecting to score, really.
Now the threat from Leicester perhaps, but it's a sliding challenge from Williams. He's had to make some big interventions so far here this evening. They know perhaps at times, Walsall, that they might have to ride their luck. They are fighting the odds here, of course, tonight. Leicester 3 divisions above them. Neatly done by Gordon. Lakin looks to send it in. Connor Cody in the way. Now the race is on to prevent the corner. And Gordon just a little too enthusiastic, and that will frustrate Matt Sadler. Didn't need to give away that foul.
Yeah, really disappointing there because it was going out for a corner. No need to put your arm in the back of your opponent. Just gives the referee a decision to make. But the big difference at the moment is just the desire. Walsall want it more. It's so clear to see. Leicester, when they receive the ball, they don't really have the intensity in the way they're playing, but it's more when it's in and around attack. And look, another sloppy pass. They're not on it at all, but it's in those turnover possessions. That's where Walsall really show that desire, intensity to want to move forward with it.
Can Walsall make the most of this? Leicester have been sluggish since half-time. Mayer trying to go around Okoli, which is no easy feat, but still battling away here. Can they box Leicester in? Okoli pushes it down the line and they work their way out well, Leicester. Now options ahead for Tawu, but he can't be found, and he perhaps should have been as well. Good work by Ricardo. I guess perhaps that is part of the balance for Walsall here tonight. They can't get too carried away. Have to keep their discipline. You could see there they looked a touch vulnerable as Leicester worked their way out.
Yeah, proper cup match, isn't it? Lots of turnovers of possession in the middle, and when Walsall do turn over the ball and Leicester get it, that's when it's a worrying thing, when they have space to run into. At the moment, Leicester aren't taking advantage of those moments. They're kind of turning back out or allowing Walsall to get back in, but Steve Cooper must really not be happy with the way his side are playing. In possession, they've been so poor, and it is difficult when you've got a disjointed 11 that haven't been playing together, but still, as a player, this is an opportunity to try and force your way into the thing in the Premier League. They haven't been getting the results they need in the Premier League, so there is an opportunity for changes in certain positions, but at the moment there's not many Leicester players out there who can really hold their hand up and say they deserve to be starting in the next Premier League game.
Well, there are 3 Leicester players making their very first starts of the season here tonight, as well as that Odsonne Edouard, who has started a game for Crystal Palace in the Premier League. Leicester just can't really get out of first gear. In these kinds of situations, Dave, when you're the more established team, the more talented team, if we tell the truth, they are Premier League footballers, and you come into a game like this, how do you make your class show? Is it calmness in possession? Is it doing things more quickly?
No, you've got to match the opposition first and foremost for effort, desire, intensity. And if you do that and you match your opposition number, then quality will show. And Leicester are still very much in this game. It's 0-0, still probably favourites to win the game of football. That's been more luck than judgment so far. Again, looks so sloppy in possession. It's only Walsall haven't taken the chances yet.
Cheap turner over of possession as Lowe tries to get the better of Sumare, and he battles well. Ball pushed down the line. Walsall looking confident here. Evan Weir, Buonanotte slides in and then turns into trouble. Challenges flying in this game.
You can hear the Leicester fans really frustrated. Fatawu wins the ball back. He's got lots of space to move forward, but he's just looking behind him for a pass.
Adoma, Mayer rolls it right. Cross comes in, but takes a big deflection. Liam Gordon. Seems to be a bit more hunger right now about these Walsall players, but it's a good challenge that comes in by Ricardo. Now Sturck, Walsall being roared on by their supporters. Sturck switches it out to the far side where Barrett can look to have a go at Thomas. Thomas goes down and it's Barrett on the ball. He goes around the outside of him and clips in across. Comfortable claim for Danny Ward.
Yeah, Conor Barrett's the one, isn't he? You can get to that byline, get across in numerous occasions in the first half, and excellent tenacity and then skill to get out onto that byline. Cross didn't quite match it, but this moment Walsall can smell blood, but they just need that little bit of quality, that final moment to try and get their noses in front.
Two best chances of the game have come Walsall's way. Leicester yet to really have a clear-cut chance in the match as the cross comes in, and it's well watched by Tommy Simkin.
I bet Steve Cooper wishes he had a Jamie Vardy on the bench, someone who's going to come on and show that real passion, intensity to go and press, get your team forward, try and upset Walsall in the way they want to play.
There's no Jamie Vardy involved in the matchday squad for Leicester here this evening. James Justin, Wout Vass, Bilal Al-Khanous, Jordan Ayew, Oliver Skipp. Casey McAteer amongst his options here tonight. Oliver Skipp, perhaps an option to just get a grip of the game. Show a bit more tenacity because Walsall have started this second half very well. No Steffi Mavadidi for Leicester either here this evening. Leicester forced back again here. Here's Connor Cody. Ricardo to Cody. Both of those players making their first starts of the season here tonight. Loose from Chowdhury, it allows Lakin to step in. Lowe gets there first. Cordova-Reid, he opens up and he rolls it to Buonanotte. He looks to push it through to Edouard, but no way through once again. And Buonanotte certainly one player who is putting it in for Leicester, wanting to be on the ball. Sumare. Now Fatawu, can he make something happen? So creative last season. He sends in the cross. Okugbue. And it just drifted behind him.
Yeah, that's better from Fatawu. At least he's getting at his fullback, getting onto that left foot and delivering a cross into the box. They're having spells of possession now, Leicester, which will tire Walsall out. just feel like they need to move the ball at a little bit quicker tempo. Try and get it side to side. Even if they're not going to find those gaps moving forward, can they move it from side to side as quickly as possible? Really try and drag Walsall across the pitch. And if you do that, all of a sudden the gaps will appear then to play forward. At the moment, it's a little bit ponderous the way they're moving the ball. And it just allows Walsall to get their breath back, move across in shape and keep themselves comfortable.
We just saw some of the options on the bench available to Steve Cooper here tonight, going through their warm-up now. Perhaps there's something on here for Walsall. Free kick right on the edge of the penalty area. Well, they had 4 players forward there. And instead, they'll have to try their luck from a set-piece. Challenge came in right on the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, again, it's Walsall on the front foot. Conor Cody knocks the ball down to Chowdhury, but he's just on his heels, waiting for the ball to come to him. And it's Mayer who really gambles the youngster. That's one thing he's done in abundance this evening. He's got after the ball, played on the front foot. And now he looks like he's the one which wants to take his free kick. And what a moment this would be for him.
Well, Tommy Simpkin was shown a yellow card a couple of moments ago for delaying the restart, taking too long to take that goal kick. But now at the other end, a huge opportunity here for Walsall. Buonanotte draws the short straw. Mayer steps up, but it's into the wall. Adoma, he can't make the connection. Leicester's wall does its job. Player down inside the penalty area here, which is the reason why the game has been stopped, and the medical team being urged to get onto the field here. Coley, the player who's down.
It's a shame for Leicester though, because all of a sudden Walsall committed so many bodies into that press and the ball bobbled out, and it was just a ball over the top and Leicester were in. First time in the game they've really had that space to run into. Here's the free kick from Mayer. So it's a big tall wall, hard to get it up and over from such a close distance. The wall does its job, nice and strong. It's a head injury in the process.
Steve Cooper, if he will have some concern at the way in which his side have begun this second period, just in some discussions right now with Abdul Fatawu. As Carabao Cup receives treatment inside the penalty area. Also players coming over towards Matt Sadler to take on some instruction. Approaching the hour mark here tonight. Still no score between these two teams. And it is Walsall who have looked more likely to have scored here this evening. But as we approach the hour mark, it is Leicester City who have failed to have an attempt on target so far tonight. It will be of big concern for Steve Cooper, but of course he has plenty of options at his disposal on the bench to try and change that.
Yeah, it's not really a true tale of the tape, with Walsall only having 1 shot on target also, because they've had, you say, 3 really good opportunities where they feel they should have been able to get themselves in front, but it's not to be. Leicester are still very much in this game, but Walsall don't look like they're showing signs of tiring.
Chowdhury just caught there by Adoma, but quickly up onto his feet. Leicester temporarily down to 10, but now Akoli back onto the pitch. Long ball sent forwards, and that's comfortable for Gordon, who just heads it away. Applause all around the ground in memory of Craig Shakespeare, who of course sadly departed us in the summer. Played such a pivotal part in Leicester's Premier League success of 2015-2016, and he also began his career here at Walsall. 284 league appearances for the club, 45 goals scored as well. And his life very well remembered here on all four sides of this stadium. Free kick here for Leicester, and Conor Cody looking as if he might be interested in having a pop here. Instead he just clips it to Akoli, who heads it back across goal, cleared away.
Yeah, I wasn't convinced.
Well, I saw the look on your face which gave that away.
But he's an excellent passer of the ball, and he did that. It wasn't actually a really good ball to that back post. I thought he might have learned a new technique, maybe a Ronaldo or a David Luiz number.
I was just trying to spot how he'd place the ball there. Where was the valve? Was he going to go for one of those Roberto Carlos type strikes? Certainly not what Conor Cody is known for. The yellow card did come for Facundo Buonanotte a few moments ago for dissent. Conor Cody's last goal came in January 2023, and 40 minutes after he scored it, he scored an own goal as well. But Leicester still to trouble Tommy Simkin here this evening. Loose pass in the middle of midfield for Tawu for Leicester. Tries to force it through, really. Cannot get Odsonne Edouard into this game in the second half. He wasn't too influential in the first half either.
Yeah, I don't mind that, though, from Vital. At least he looked forward early when Walsall weren't in their shape. The execution of the pass wasn't on, but the actual opportunity was.
Still waiting for either manager to dip down into their bench here this evening. Now approaching that stage in the game, though, when the changes usually come. Those Leicester fans not looking particularly happy with what they've watched so far this evening. Coley, poor from him, low. Coley does well to just get something on the ball, but Walsall have the throw. Low was a potential option for it quickly. Here's Adoma. Only Charlie Lakin inside the penalty area, really. It almost came though the way of Low. Now Liam Gordon. Fizzed out to the far side by Ryan Stirk. Now Mayer. Two for company over on that far side and couldn't quite make it work.
Yeah, there's a quiet confidence now for Walsall, even in possession, keeping the ball. Lovely switch of play by Ryan Stirk as it bounced up, zipped a left-footed half volley out to the wing.
Jamie Jellis preparing to come on for Walsall. All 4 goals that Walsall have scored in this competition this season have come after the 63rd minute. Cross comes in and it's an easy one for Simkin, who's took his time on occasion in this game when he's had the ball, but not this time as he looks to get Walsall moving quickly. Ball arrowed out to this near side where Ricardo has to intervene for Leicester. And here comes the change for Walsall. Tonight may well not have happened Had it not been for Jamie Jellis, that late equaliser in the first round against Exeter City here. Charlie Lakin, the player who departs.
Yeah, a bit quieter in the second half, Charlie Lakin, but popped up in some excellent positions in the first half. He had that big chance as well. So he didn't do too much wrong. Good contact on it, and Danny Ward had to make an excellent save. Some fresh legs in there, because there's been a lot of leg work that's been needed from that Walsall midfield.
Nathan Lowe slow to get up for Walsall as Leicester look to build with Thomas. He gives it to Okoli. Doesn't quite break for Edouard. Cut out once again. Fatawu skips away from a couple of challenges and he finds Buonanotte. He looks to centre. And Edouard cannot get the connection and it just loops up high. Nice and easy again for Tommy Simkin.
Buonanotte has definitely been the biggest spark for Leicester, and he ignites this attack. Gets that to Fatawu, gets the ball back down that line. Tries to just put it into a dangerous area, but once again, Walsall gets bodies back. Combination of Okagbue and Harry Williams, both been excellent in those interceptions.
It was Okagbue who got that touch there. There's Buonanotte, middle of the field. Leicester all of a sudden just stepping on it a touch. Here comes Ricardo. Fatawu. Chowdhury clipped around the corner by Soumare. Fatawu closed down, charged down by Liam Gordon. Leicester City corner.
Yeah, just a bit more space started to appear. Lovely pass by Chowdhury. Lots of disguise on it into Soumare.
Leicester are now going to make their first change of the evening. Odsonne Edouard on his first start for the club. Well, it hasn't really been his night, hasn't had an influence on the game. This is former Crystal Palace teammate Jordan Ayew, another new arrival at Leicester in the summer, who's going to come on here. Can he change the way this game has gone? Gloves weather in September. Corner work short. Corner work quickly, but it breaks down for Leicester. Cody to Okoli. Okoli still going here. Now Thomas. De Cordova-Reid. Into Chowdhury. Ricardo. Good work by Fatawu, who just tried to sneak it in at the front post. I'm not sure that was the best option. Some frustrated teammates inside that penalty area, but he is starting to make things happen, Abdul Fatawu.
Yeah, again, I don't mind it when he's being direct like that, because that's where his strengths are. Lovely move just to off balance. Little nutmeg gets in there. It's really not on to shoot from there. It's a poor decision, but the first bit of the play was really good.
The change for Walsall. On comes Taylor Allen. Ronan Mayer, the player who departed for Walsall. Less than 20 minutes to play. Well, this third round tie will be sorted by a penalty shootout, which perhaps coming into the evening Walsall would have taken, but they have carved out the better opportunities here tonight. Buonanotte slow to get up for Tawu. He's going to go for goal here. Flashes wide. Well, it sat up so invitingly, but he couldn't find the target.
Yeah, he's definitely becoming more influential as this half's going on. As it bounces to him, he's only got one thing on his mind. This is a better shooting position for him. He just cuts across the bottom of the ball, which puts that right to left spin on it, so it heads away from that far post. But just starting to create a few more moments.
Steve Cooper's side starting to get into the ascendancy here. Walsall started this second half really well, but right now it feels as if Leicester are the side that are offering a bit more going forwards. Here's Weir. He just thumps it long. Possession in the second half, similar to the first. Leicester dominating the ball. 73% they've had in this second period. There's a pause in play here. Unfortunately, we have an intruder on the field of play. "17 minutes to go here. Leicester City starting to get on top. What does Matt Sadler do from here, do you feel, Dave?
Well, he's brought some fresh legs into midfield. So Jamie Jealous has come on. Taylor Allen, who's playing on the left side of a back three more often than not, getting some goals as well recently. Nearly scored an absolute worldie against Salford at the weekend. But fresh legs in that midfield area. I think it's going to be important to get around that midfield area, and now changing the front two, you'd imagine. We said we'd expect to see them. Danny Johnson will really feel that he's going to get an opportunity. Real live wire in and around the Leicester defence, and then Jamil Matt, with all his experience, a leader, he becomes a target because they're going to have to go a bit more direct at times. If you get Danny Johnson working around him, it could be a really positive move from Matt Sadler.
Albert Adoma, who had a chance early in the second half that he was unable to take, he's replaced, as too is Nathan Lowe. Those two have worked really hard this evening, but now it is fresh legs. New energy for Walsall by way of Jamil Matt and Danny Johnson. Jamil Matt takes the captain's armband as well from Ryan Stirk. Can one of these two, who have just been introduced, end the night a hero for Walsall?
And Matt Sadler just talking to Nathan Lowe there. It's been a fantastic performance by the front man. Really worked hard to keep pressure on that Leicester back line. He's battled away, created that chance for Albert Adoma. Real workmanlike performance from Nathan Lowe.
It had the look of an awkward evening for Leicester here tonight, and it's proven that way so far. Cheaply given away by Okoli. Here's Jealous. He's just trying to thread it inside to find the substitute, Danny Johnson. Touched off by Ayew. Leicester leading the attempts here this evening, 7-5. But still, with nearly 76 minutes played here tonight, to have an attempt on target. The only one we've seen came relatively early in the night. Charlie Lakin's effort, pushed away by Danny Ward. Cody's ball forward. Fatawu. Ayew gives it back to Fatawu. All very tight for him, but he manages to find Ayew. He's got Buonanotte just beside him. It's still Ayew. Cody steps forward. Walsall with everybody within 30 yards of their goal. Neatly worked. He might just break fortuitously here. Simkin comes quickly off his line, and no nonsense by Walsall just to get the ball away. Now Jamil Matt looking to pressurise Danny Ward. And Leicester can look to build again. Clipped over the top. Too far though, in front of Buonanotte.
Yeah, another good moment for Leicester in this last 10 minutes. The pressure's building. Fortuitously ends back up at the feet of Luke Thomas. I don't know if that is class as a shot, but Simkin quickly off his line. And more of a cross, I think, but good block from the goalkeeper. Saw the danger and made sure he got it there as quickly as possible.
Into the closing stages here at the Vescott. Walsall holding their own. Leicester really getting on top now in this game. Bilal El-Khanous and Oliver Skipp both getting ready to come on here for Steve Cooper's side, who are in the final third once again. Casey McAteer is also going to be introduced for Leicester. Here's Ricardo, who just drifts into a central position. Now Fatawu tiptoeing his way into the Walsall penalty area. The header comes in from Buonanotte, who just seems to find those pockets of space, but he couldn't guide his header past Tommy Simkin.
Yeah, you feel like this is their best chance, Leicester's. Fatawu just waiting. It's a really good job just to find that angle. So Buonanotte is good with using his head. He stoops low. It's a tad behind him, which makes it difficult to really get the direction on. But he's in a good position in the box, and that definitely is a shot on target for Leicester.
But it's going to be his final action of the game for Kundo Buonanotte, who perhaps has been Leicester's brightest player. Certainly had their better of the few chances that they've had. He's going to make way here. Bilal El-Khanous comes on. El-Khanous, who made his first start for Leicester at the weekend against Everton. Leicester paid a lot of money for to bring him from Genk, 19 million. Hamza Chowdhury will also make way here. Bobby De Cordova-Reid as well, making his way to the touchline. So Oliver Skipp coming on, as too is Casey McAteer. 4 changes made now by Steve Cooper, as Leicester try to fight a way through to round 4. As if Hamza Chowdhury disappeared straight down the tunnel there for Leicester. Just confirmation of those changes in the top left of your screen as we now tick towards the last 10 minutes. Will we have late drama here? Or will the drama come even later in a penalty shootout for Fatawu? You feel Leicester need to get him on the ball as much as they can. He whips in the cross, it's headed away. Good distance on the header. Jamil Matt battling away, and he gets the better of Oliver Skipp. Jealous. Not the best of balls back, and it just has to be thumped long.
Yeah, Walsall just need to be a little bit better in possession at the moment. They're giving the ball back to Leicester a little bit too easily, and that's allowed Leicester to really sustain some pressure. becomes a lot more hard work for Walsall as well, having to get themselves across the pitch as quickly as possible. They've done excellently well so far in this game, but there will be some tired legs moving into this final 10 minutes.
One skips beyond Jordan Ayew. There is Hamza Chowdhury back on the bench now for Leicester, as we see Sadler in discussion with his coaching staff. They've given a really good account of themselves here this evening, but could the night still get better? Can they take the scalp of the 3 times winners of this competition? They are in with a chance of doing so in the game as we move into these closing stages. Good work by Taylor Allen, looking to get the better of Ricardo. He does the first time, goes down inside the penalty area. Nothing doing for Tom Neild, and Leicester now can look to come forward themselves. For Tawu, he's brought down. Free kick to Leicester, and a yellow card will come as well for Evan Weir.
Really good work, wasn't it, from Taylor Allen? Showed a little bit of quality the way he manoeuvred himself down that left-hand side. Wasn't a penalty, because clearly Ricardo gets the ball. Showed a lot of composure to get himself into the box. Ricardo clearly gets his left foot on the ball.
And this challenge, the reason why Weir was shown a yellow card. Header away by Jamil Matt. Skip. Now Ricardo. For Tawu, tight to the touchline, just looking to work away in field. Here he is in possession once again. Really stepped up in the last 10 or 15 minutes as Leicester try to find the goal, which will put them in the hat for the 4th round. Ayew unable to link up with Bilal El Khanous.
Well, at this point now, you imagine Walsall will be happy to get themselves that final whistle and penalties. The game just tilting into Leicester's favour, so Walsall now will try and just take their time, run the clock down as much as possible.
Is it to be a night when one of the 2 goalkeepers, Tommy Simpkin or Danny Ward, becomes the hero here?
Danny Ward once the hero for Huddersfield, wasn't it, in the playoff final? He's got Huddersfield into the Premier League.
Tommy Simpkin at the other end, just 19 years of age. What a way it would be for him to make a name for himself here tonight. 2 goalkeepers who, truth be told, haven't had a lot to do so far this evening.
No, they certainly haven't, but they both look very accomplished as well. I think in everything they've done, they've had to, especially Danny Ward. He made the good save early on, but he's had to do a lot of work with his feet and look very comfortable.
Cody gets himself in the way, brought down by Sumare. Sumare sends it forwards, but Kagbue in the way for Walsall. Cody goes in for the header, and he gives away the free kick here with a challenge up against Danny Johnson.
Yeah, frustration from Conor Cody. Feels like the ball's there to be won. Danny Johnson just arches his back as Conor Cody goes up for the ball. Looks like he won it clearly. Crowd's reaction has definitely helped the situation. But these chances aren't coming along too often for Walsall now. Opportunities to put the ball into the box with some quality.
Can they maximise this situation? Evan Weir's delivery, he's put plenty on it, and it asks enough of a question of Skip that he has to head it behind for a Walsall corner.
Yeah, Skip had Harry Williams behind him. It had to be defended. Can't really take any chances there to try and head the ball away. Safest place is behind the goal.
Walsall fans desperate for a moment here. Tom Neild again, just having a few words. Jamil Matt, much more difficult to deal with in that situation than Albert Adoma. Taylor Allen close to the keeper as well. Can the delivery be right here? Deeper delivery, and it's half-headed away. Taylor Allen in there, he just clips it back up towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and El Khanous is able to clip it away. Tom Neild lost his footing. I think the ball may just have touched the referee there as well. Holds his hands up. 10 out of 10 for theatrics. Lovely tumble.
Yeah, good ball into the box. Kept alive. I think Walsall fans will be really frustrated because it does touch the referee, but they feel that they were in control of the ball, even though it was a Leicester clearance which then hit the referee. Matt Sadler looks bamboozled by the situation. Because Walsall, as I said, they haven't had many moments in the last 15-20 minutes where they've been in that Leicester final third, and that was an opportunity for them.
Loose from Okoli, and he won't get away with it either as it runs out of play. He's going to get booked for that. Delay of the restart from Caleb Okoli. A move which just gives his team a bit of time to get back in shape. A yellow card that he has to take for the team really after his initial mistake.
Yeah, poor touch, wasn't it, from Okoli. And in the end, I think it's a good booking to take. Stops Walsall getting on with it quickly, has Leicester out of their shape.
Great noise inside the Poundland Bescott Stadium. It will be kept in play, and Liam Gordon is found here, and he darts inside. It's still Liam Gordon into the penalty area. He goes, he pulls the ball across. Taylor Allen strike. Leicester just throwing bodies in the way. It's Allen once again, charged down by Ricardo. All of a sudden, Walsall have found some energy.
Yeah, I thought Walsall's race was done, but they're coming on strong in the final minutes. Liam Gordon running into the box. He just opens up for him as they try and shut the pass off to his left. He takes up the option just to drive into the space. Leicester actually do really well not to clip him on the way into the box. Ricochets off Danny Johnson a few times.
It's a great surge forward by Liam Gordon. In comes that long throw once again, and it's allowed to bounce as well. Now Danny Johnson. Walsall with plenty of players forward here, and they've won the corner.
Fantastic noise behind the goal. The atmosphere is really rising. They can feel a match winner coming late on in the game.
They are willing that ball in behind the goal. More defending for Leicester to do. There will be very little time to reply if Walsall can find a goal here. And it comes towards the back post, the header away. Questions being asked of Premier League Leicester here by League Two Walsall. Fatawu, lovely touch from him, but he's unable to turn it inside Ryan Sturck. Throw into Leicester, into the final 30 seconds of the 90. Cody to Okoli. Walsall finishing the game stronger. Just confirmation of that yellow card a few minutes ago for Okoli as Skip picks up possession and he's pulled down. Leicester want to take it quickly. They thought they just caught Walsall napping there, but Tom Neild not allowing them to get on with the game. Yellow card shown.
Yeah, Skip darting forward, gets nicked, but shows his experience and his awareness and his Premier League quality, sees the run straight away, gets the pass away. He'll be frustrated it wasn't allowed to carry on because in the right position. I think the referee obviously wanted to put it back for a booking.
Jamie Jellis, the player who had his name taken. We've moved into stoppage time here. Walsall threatening down the other end, but now Leicester responding. In it comes from Thomas. Cody managed to get something on it, but he couldn't keep the attack alive.
Yeah, difficult one for Connor Cody. It was a deep cross. Scamper into that byline just to try and cut it back. Bounces just as he gets there. Makes it a difficult technique to keep the ball in play.
5 minutes of time to be added on here at the Bescot. It's been an engaging game, a game in which Walsall have stood toe-to-toe with Leicester City. And we are still no closer to finding out who will be heading into round 4. Not the best of balls back, and Simpkin just launches it away. McCauley under pressure. Thomas unable to keep it in play. Now, they have relatively recent memory, Leicester, of having a tricky day here. They did so in the 4th round of the FA Cup. January 2023, Kelechi Iheanacho scoring the only goal on that occasion. Last time Walsall beat Leicester City, it was 1978. They've had their chances to win this game within the 90. They may well get the chance to win it via a penalty shootout with just over 2 minutes of stoppage time remaining. Whatever happens in the next couple of minutes, they've also put on a really good show here tonight.
Yeah, they have. Very impressive in that first half. Created some decent opportunities. The way they've worked in their shape and still kept that attacking threat. That's the key when you play against a team from higher up in the leagues, is that you remain a threat. And they've certainly done that. We did think for a moment that they were really lacking energy and were going to take penalties, but they've been really lively again in these closing stages.
They found a second wind late on here, Walsall, but it's Leicester on the ball. 90 or so seconds left to play. Ball push forwards. Will you get there first? Williams slides in. He's been brilliant tonight, Harry Williams, and that just another example of his ability at the back.
He really has. First half he made 3 or 4 terrific interceptions. He's read the game exceptionally well, and another strong tackle by the centre-back.
They've had just 25% of the ball tonight, Walsall, but they have restricted a number of opportunities Leicester have been able to create. Now, Fatawu lost his footing, but there was a challenge just before that which may well have played its part, and Leicester will have a free kick, and it is very likely to be the final action of the game here.
Well, Fatawu has been the brightest spark for Leicester in the second half. Loses his footing after the challenge had been made. Not sure how much contact there was initially from Liam Gordon, but he's gone into the referee's book for it. And maybe one last opportunity for Leicester to just come up with that moment of quality which the game has really been lacking.
Will we go to penalties, or will Leicester strike very late on here into a 6th minute of time added on? And it comes from Ricardo, and it doesn't go very far, straight into the one-man wall. Cross comes in, Simpkin sees it. He sees it clearly, and he takes a clean claim, and he looks to send Walsall on their way. But this 3rd round tie is going to be decided by a penalty shootout. Walsall Well, they gave such a good account of themselves here tonight. They frustrated Premier League Leicester City. And whatever happens now, or the players not too fussed, they just have a job to do.
No, it definitely does. You want to be going towards your home fans.
Does that not add more pressure sometimes, though?
Nah, it's definitely the other way around. If you're a Walsall player and you've got however many thousand behind the goal all screaming and trying to put you off, it is important that you try and remain calm, but it is going to play its part. Whereas if it's your own fans, you know they're going to be reasonably quiet and allow you just to get on with your routine.
Asking the questions like a man who has quite obviously never been in that situation. But it will be Leicester's end, and it will be Leicester to go first, which is also important as well. Can they get themselves ahead in this shootout? Ricardo will take their first penalty. Tommy Simpkin, 19 years of age, in the Walsall goal. Is it a night he becomes a hero? Straight run up from Ricardo. And Simpkin guesses the right way, but he's unable to keep it out.
Yeah, cool and confident. Never looked flustered, did he? Had to wait a long time. Strong finish. When you do go on your favoured foot and you go to that side of the goal, you have to get pace on the ball, because the natural thing is to drag it towards the goalkeepers. You have to really try and put a bit of pace on it.
Taylor Allen on as a substitute here this evening. First up for Walsall, up against Danny Ward, who keeps it out. Sprawling save from Danny Ward, who really had to reach down to his right to keep it out. Brilliant save from the Leicester keeper.
Yeah, I think he must have been doing his homework, because Taylor Allen scored this season in that corner, and it's a good penalty. Looks like he gets it reasonably in the corner. I thought it looked further in the corner initial, but Danny Ward looks so big, a bit like the chance in the first half where he gets across his goal so well. Big presence. It's a wonderful save. He's got history in penalty shootouts, and he's got Leicester's noses in front.
Advantage to Leicester. Next up comes Connor Cody. Chest out, deep breath. Up he steps and he slots it home. Coolly done from Connor Cody. And Leicester lead 2-0 in the penalty shootout. I'm sure there was plenty of talk when he was in the England squad about his participation in the penalty practices, and they all said that he could take one. He proves them right.
Yeah, he's very good dead ball specialist, Connor Cody. He's done it all throughout his career, playing numerous positions and had that quality. There's a lot of disguise on that, though. His head down, like he was really going to put his foot through it, in the last moment just casually put it the other way.
Things going Leicester's way so far in this penalty shootout. Walsall have to get themselves on the board, and Ward keeps it out to deny Okagbue. And Leicester are edging closer to a place in round 4. Danny Ward does it again.
He's just such an intimidating presence, he really is. He gets so far across his goal that it makes you think as a player, you really need to push it into the corner. It's not a great penalty, it's a good height, but look how early Danny Ward goes, gets there, strong arm. Terrific save again.
Well, they fought so valiantly tonight, Walsall, but they are on the edge right now. Oliver Skipp next up for Leicester to give them a 3-0 lead in the penalty shootout, and he does just that. Yet again, Tommy Simpkin guesses the right way, but he just couldn't get there.
We look at the three Leicester penalty takers, abundance of experience: Ricardo, Connor Cody, and now Oliver Skipp. Very much like Ricardo's penalty, picks to go to that side, hits it really firm in the corner, and Simpkin can't get across the goal quick enough.
Liam Gordon has to score. We are at that stage already. Can he keep Walsall in the competition? He can't. It's saved by Danny Ward. 3 saves from 3 from him, and Leicester City are heading through to the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. It was a brave fight by Walsall, who showed us the reason why they find themselves at the top end of League Two. But it is Danny Ward who ends the night the hero, saving 3 from 3 in the shootout.
Yeah, really disappointing penalty to finish on again. Danny Ward gets right across his goal. I think Gordon was really hoping he sent him the wrong way with the pace of that penalty. Danny Ward's the hero.